Chapter 2144. Ruoli was afraid that he would notice something, so she avoided his eyes and dared not answer. She was afraid that Alex would know that she was the illegitimate daughter of Zin. In that way, not only might he use her as a bargaining chip to threaten her father and the Su family, but he might even make her identity public. Although she hoped that her father could recognize her identity, she also knew that her father was the son of the Su family after all, and he had an original wife and a pair of children. If her identity was exposed at once, it would be very bad for her father's reputation, and the family's happiness would have a big negative impact. Ruoli only wanted to share her father's worries all her life and never thought of causing trouble to him. So at this time, there was panic deep in her heart for fear that Alex would notice it. Seeing Ruoli avoiding his eyes and at the same time shutting her mouth, he realized that something was wrong in his heart. He sighed with emotion. You are now the #1 serious criminal in China. In this case, they can still get you out. When it comes to this, the Su family will have to spend at least 1 billion or even more to achieve freedom for you. Speaking of this, Alex stared at Ruoli and said coldly, the style of the Su family. I have also heard that the current patriarch Chingfeng is not a generous person. He cannot be willing to spend so much money to save one servant. Even if you do have some strength, you are definitely not worth so much money. At this point, Alex deliberately stretched his tone and sneered. Unless you are not a subordinate of the Su family. Although Ruoli was very strong, her social experience and emotional intelligence did not quite pass the test. Hearing this, the whole person was obviously a little flustered. She said, No, not as you expected. I am indeed a servant of the Su family, Alex sneered. It seems that you do lack some social experience. The look in your eyes has given me a clear signal. Ruoli asked in a panic. Ah, what signal? Alex smiled and said, I guess the signal right. After that, he asked coldly, Who are you from the Su family? I have investigated you, Ruoli, the subordinate of the Su family and the bodyguard of Zin. Although you also have the surname Su, you are not in the Su family. What is the relationship? Ruoli nodded hurriedly. Yes, I am indeed just a subordinate of the Su family. Alex waved his hand. No, I said, the Su family can't make such a big move for a subordinate. Therefore, your identity as a subordinate of the Su family is not the key to letting the Su family save you. Speaking of this, Alex stared at Ruoli's somewhat horrified eyes and said lightly, So, you must have another identity. Ruoli shook her head repeatedly in shock and said in a begging voice, I'm not. I really don't have any other identity. If you want to kill me quickly. Don't humiliate me like this, okay? Alex saw her nervous performance in his eyes and laughed coldly. The Su family values you so much, and you're so sincerely defending the Su family. This performance has obviously surpassed the feelings between master and servant. Could it be that you and the Su family are related by blood? After all, your surname is Su. Ruoli shook her head desperately. Although my surname is Su, it is just a coincidence. I came to the Su house when I was 18 years old. My main job is to be Zin, Su's bodyguard, occasionally with other subordinates in the Su family to perform some relatively secret tasks. For example, I am responsible for leading the execution of the killing of Matsumoto Maki. What I told you is the truth. I really have no other identity. Alex smiled and said, The better you are, the more you explain, the more you want to cover it up, in my opinion. If you're really just a subordinate of the Su family and you are ready to die for the master, and you don't want my life, yet you're here explaining so much to me. Obviously, you are arguing for the Su family. Having said that, Alex teased, Let me guess, are you the illegitimate daughter of someone from the Su family? That's why they tried so hard to save you, right? Ruoli turned pale with fright. She shook her head desperately and even burst into tears. She choked and said, I'm really not the illegitimate daughter of the Su family. Please believe me. Alex ignored her, shook his head, and muttered, Whose illegitimate daughter would you be? Chingfeng? It's unlikely. Chingfeng is an old dog who is about to die. You should not have the ability to raise a young woman. Little girl, besides, if you are really his illegitimate daughter, he will never arrange for you to protect Zin. In that case, Zin may find out at any time. Speaking of this, Alex looked up and down at Ruoli and asked with a smile, "So, you should be the illegitimate daughter of Zin?" Zin simply kept you by his side as a bodyguard in order to conceal you from others, allowing close contact without being suspected by others. Am I right?